Ugh. Hello. This is an MTG, and this is my 2019 Chevy Equinox. Today I'm going to be marrying the two of these together to see what kind of information John Deere could tell me about my work car. Welcome to Hillside Ag. This is an MTG, or otherwise known as a modular telematics gateway. This is the newest rendition John Deere's come out with. They've been around for quite a few years now, but this is their universal style. Now, with the universal style, Deere claims that it can go in pretty much any John Deere model that has a service port, and it can even go in other brands of equipment such as Case, New Holland, anything that's got the service port. They also claim that it can go in vehicles, like my Chevy Equinox. The only thing is, they're not very clear on what information all you can get out of it. So I want to plug this in today into my work car and find out what exact information can you get out of this thing, and is it useful? Equinox here. Now the Chevy Equinoxes do not have diagnostic service ports. So traditionally on a tractor, you're going to see a port like this. On all vehicles, this is the port that we typically see, an OBD2 port. So we're going to modify this MTG harness to link into our OBD2 port and see if we get any information out of the Chevy Equinox while we're utilizing it. We know for sure what we will get out of the MTGs. We'll get location, we'll get speed, and timestamps as it's driving. But I'm curious to see if we get any other information out of it by linking it into the onboard computer. So let's see if we can get that done. Guys, I bought the wrong adapter. I thought I knew what I was doing, didn't get the right one. For this particular setup. Works great on EDL, but it does not work great on this, so I am actually going to have to manipulate one of these pins down, and I'll show you why. So if you look at these pins on the very top here, that guy and the adjacent one over there, this one is a lot bigger than that one is. So I am actually going to cheat, and I'm going to remove that pin out of there just because you can see we're not using it. We're only using those lower four. All right, it's very crude, but that top nipple, top pin, whatever you want to call it, is not there anymore. Now, with the right adapter, we are locked maybe in. Oh, I wish you could have felt that satisfying pop. When you get that down, now the adapters are linked together. So now we can take this over to the inside of the cab. We're going to plug this into the OBD2 port and kind of get everything mocked up for tomorrow's trial. And then that's going to take care of the install side of it. There's not a lot to do on the install side. These things are really easy to set up. The only other thing I have to do is pair this JD-Link modem with the VIN number of the old Equimino here, and then make sure that it's calling in once I get everything situated. Right on. So we are called in. We're showing right now. So we got the orange pause button on it. That means the machine is idling right now and just sitting. We can see over here, last call in a minute, and it's been sitting for 1 minute and 47 seconds. It has called in. So everything is working like it should. Like I said, what I'm curious on is some of these utilization pieces. Just see what kind of information this thing actually feeds in, if it's worth putting it on the OBD2 port, or if we're going to use this as just tracking, if we're just going to strictly see machine location. We'll see you guys tomorrow, because it is about time for Betty Bye. Morning, YouTube. We're back in the saddle today. We are headed to West Salem this morning. We got the MTG plugged in. I didn't plug it in right when I left the house. I'm sorry. I like you guys. Don't know that I like you quite enough, though, to be showing you where I live. So we got down the road a little bit, plugged it in, and now we're trucking down the road. It is calling in. It is showing blue, green, and white lights, so that means that it's doing its job. So I ended up jumping the gun a little bit. I thought I had everything set up correctly, and I didn't. I drove up to Toma this morning, came back, thought I was gonna see some cool stuff on the map, and all I could see is where I drove and a timestamp. I didn't have speed. I didn't have any information other than the actual engine hours that this thing was running,
which really disappointed me. So I got to digging into it a little bit. Turns out I had to change some diagnostic addresses in the MTG, which is sitting in the back here. I was able to do that through an equipment mobile app on my phone. Didn't need any special tools, just needed the correct instructions to set this up, to tell it it's a truck or a pickup truck, a vehicle of some sort. Now that I did that, did a reset, I'm starting to see some more information on Op Center, which you can see here. We're at 98% fuel capacity here. I've been idling for about 5 minutes, and you can see I do have a full tank of fuel. So we're finally getting some more information on here than we did before. I'm hoping that it's going to call in some more data, and we'll actually be able to see even more information than just fuel level and engine hours. So I guess we'll check it out when we get home. So we just made it home. We're done for the day. So I'm gonna fire the computer up, get it linked up to Wi-Fi, and we're gonna see what kind of information that we got out of this thing. So we're checked back in here with the map in the mobile app. We got the machine on the left, unit on the right. We can see that fuel percentage changed from the last time it called in, and we've got utilization now. So idle time is whenever the machine was just idling, not moving. Working is considered in motion. You can actually see two different lines from when we went into work there, and come on, when we left work there. Now, there's another feature in here, a machine analyzer. All John Deere equipment has the capability of seeing this, but now that 1033, the car I drive, is linked in, we get a couple different metrics in here. So I've got my coolant temperatures, I got min, max, averages, maximum engine load, 98% surprisingly. Now I know the old Equimino here is really small engine. I want to say it's like a 1 point something liter with a turbo on it. So at 98%, I can't say that I'm 100% surprised trying to get on the off-ramp and get up to speed to get into traffic, but I was a little bit surprised that it got that high. Maximum engine speed, average engine speed we can see, and machine utilization, and our vehicle speed averages. Maximum speed being 77.9. Whoops. Shh. Nobody tell anyone. So it can be pretty handy in that sense, just to be able to see the health of the machine and if we've been beaten on it or not, or if we're keeping it like normal. So why would anyone want to put this in their vehicle? Well, number one, we got location tracking. Not only are we going to be able to see where this machine drove, we can also set up geofences within Operations Center. So if this car were to leave, like let's say the state of Wisconsin, we can actually draw a geofence around the state, and if it leaves, I'm going to get an alert on my phone through the Operations Center app stating that it left that geofenced area. Number two, we get speed out of the thing. There is no lying with this because we're using GPS and cellular networks. The only way that you wouldn't get that info to call in is, well, if they can't find those things, like it gets unplugged. Last piece of why someone might want to put this in, once you install it, this is actually a free service from John Deere. You plug in the modem into the unit, you get a free Operations Center account, you get all this information for free from the company. It's not a subscription, there's no gimmick. And now I have the capability of tracking health on my machine and location of my machine. So if you've got a fleet of equipment, you can pay attention to where they're at, when they're at, if someone is ramrodding on them or not. If you got a teenage kid, you can actually pay attention to where the machine is going, where the vehicle is going, when it starts up, when it shuts down, things like that. And that's really all there is to say there. Lots of possibilities with tracking with these MTGs, whether you have a vehicle fleet or whether you're like me, have a work car, maybe even a personal rig like that, they have capabilities of tracking them. I see it as a win. I think there's a lot of positivity that can come out of it. I'm curious to see what you guys think. If you can think of anything that we're shortcoming on, or maybe there's a bad reason to put it in, let me know in the comments. Because for the life of me, for the price point that it is, the flexibility that you get out of it, I think it's a pretty decent tool. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys on the next one.